The empty stage you are not broken. You are not lazy. You are not a failure. But right now you are standing in the middle of a stage where all the lights have gone out. The audience has left. Chinese letter is gone. And someone forgot to tell you that the show is over. That is what depression feels like, not sadness, but the disappearance of everything that made the stage worth standing on. Sadness is a storm. Depression is the death of wind. You wake up and the air itself weighs 17 pounds per square inch against your chest. Getting out of bed feels like swimming up through concrete. And here is the first hard truth no one told you. You are going to have to learn how to build fire from scratch with wet wood in the dark while shivering. No one is coming to rescue you. That is not cruelty. That is the beginning of your actual strength. What is one thing you will do today, not because you want to, but because you refuse to let the dark decide? The hard truth about waiting: you have been waiting for the motivation to come back. You have been waiting to feel like yourself again before you start living. That is a trap. Motivation is not the cause of action, it is the echo of it. Your brain right now is lying to you. It is telling you that you need to feel better before you can do better. That is backwards. Action comes first, always. The motivation follows behind like a shy dog. You do not need to believe in the shower before you step into it. You do not need to feel hopeful about brushing your teeth. You just do the thing. And then hours later, sometimes days later, you notice that you feel 1% less like dying. That 1% is everything. Depression is a parasite that feeds on your inaction. Every time you wait for the feeling to change, you are feeding the parasite. Every time you act without feeling, you starve it. Your assignment today is to pick one microscopic action. Wash one dish, stand outside for 60 seconds, send one text, and do it while feeling absolutely nothing. Report back to yourself tonight. Did the world end? Or did you just prove that you can move without permission? The biology of the broken thermostat. Let me give you the science without the bullshit. Your brain has a thermostat for mood called the default mode network. In a healthy brain, that thermostat clicks on and off. You feel sad, the brain releases chemicals to regulate, you come back to baseline. In depression, that thermostat is stuck in the on position. Your prefrontal cortex, the part that makes decisions and sees the future, actually shrinks. Your amygdala, the fear center, grows larger and more sensitive. This is not in your head, this is in your tissue. Your hippocampus, which builds memories, stops producing new neurons at a normal rate. You are not imagining the fog. The fog is physical. But here is what the science also says. Neuroplasticity is real. You can rebuild the thermostat. You can grow your prefrontal cortex back. How? The same way you build a muscle: repetition under tension. Every time you force yourself to do something hard, every time you refuse to believe the lie, you lay down new neural pathways. It is slow. It is boring. It is not magical. But neither is lifting weights, and yet muscles grow. Your brain is asking you to be the trainer it desperately needs. What is one small behavior you can repeat every single day for 30 days, even when it feels pointless, to force that thermostat to start moving again? The shower you don't want to take here is a real-world scenario. It is 7:43 a.m. You have been awake for 2 hours, but you have not moved. Your phone is at 2% battery. There are 3 missed calls from a number you do not recognize. Your mouth tastes like regret. The shower is 12 feet away. Those 12 feet might as well be the width of the Atlantic Ocean. You know the shower will help. You know the warm water will loosen something in your chest. You know you will feel 1 degree more human, but the lie is screaming at you. What's the point? You'll just be wet and still depressed. Here is the counterpunch. The point is not to cure the depression. The point is to prove to yourself that you are still a person who can do hard things. The shower is not about hygiene. The shower is about rebellion. Every time you do the thing you do not want to do, you are staging a coup against the illness. You are not washing your body. You are washing away the argument that you are powerless. Stand up. Not because you want to, because the part of you that is still alive, still fighting, still refusing to be buried, that part needs you to win this tiny war. Go take the shower. Count the seconds if you have to. And when you get out, look at yourself in the foggy mirror and say this out loud. I did not ask for this fight, but I am still here. Say it even if you do not believe it. Belief comes later. Action comes now. The mirror and the monster your self-talk has become a terrorist. You wake up to a voice that says, "You're a burden." You try to eat, it says, "You don't deserve this." You almost laugh at something and it says, "That's fake, you're faking." That voice is not you. I need you to understand this with every cell in your body. The voice is the illness. The same way a fever is not you, a cough is not you, the voice in your head that hates you is a symptom. But here is where you have power. You can learn to separate from that voice. When it says, "You are worthless," you say, "I notice my brain is having the thought that I am worthless." That is not denial, that is witnessing. You are the sky and the thoughts are the weather. The storm is real. The lightning is dangerous. But you are not the storm. You are the sky that contains it. Start practicing this today. Every time the voice speaks, thank it for its opinion and then do the opposite of what it tells you. It says stay in bed, you stand up. It says don't answer the phone, you answer. It says you're alone, you send one text to one person. You are not fighting the voice. You are outsmarting it by refusing to believe it. The voice is loud, but loud is not the same as true. Say this out loud. I am not my thoughts. I am the one who watches them. The first 10 minutes the way you start your morning is not just a habit, it is a battlefield. Most people with depression wake up already defeated because the first thing they do is reach for the phone. The blue light, the notifications, the curated lives of people who seem to have energy. That is like pouring gasoline on a fire. Your brain, in the first 10 minutes after waking, is in a highly suggestible state called theta wave dominance. It is literally wide open. What you feed it in those 10 minutes becomes the filter for your entire day. So here is the rule. The first 10 minutes are silent. No phone, no news, no social media, no checking messages from people who drained you yesterday. Instead, you do 3 things. First, you drink 1 full glass of water. Your brain is dehydrated after sleep, and dehydration mimics depression. Second, you stand up and stretch your arms above your head for 10 seconds. That movement activates your vagus nerve, which calms the fight or flight response. Third, you say 1 sentence out loud. Today, I only need to survive this day, nothing more. That is it. No toxic positivity, no affirmations about greatness, just permission to exist. Your challenge for tomorrow morning: wake up, and before you touch anything else, do those 3 things. Time yourself, 10 minutes, and notice what shifts when you stop letting the world inside before you've remembered who you are. The power of no. You have been saying yes to everything because you do not have the energy to argue. Yes to the overtime shift. Yes to the family dinner you cannot handle. Yes to the friend who treats you like a therapist. Yes to the internal demand that you should be productive, happy, grateful, normal. Every yes is a no to yourself. Depression is not just a chemical imbalance. It is also the accumulated weight of every boundary you did not set. You are exhausted because you are living someone else's life. The word no is not rude. The word no is a door. Every time you say no to something that drains you, you are opening space for something that might eventually fill you. But you have to start small. No to the second hour of scrolling. No to the obligation that makes your chest tight. No to the conversation that always leaves you feeling smaller. Here is your script. I love you and I cannot do that right now. I need to take care of something. You do not owe anyone an explanation. Your health is not a negotiation. Practice saying no today to 1 thing, 1 tiny thing. And feel what happens in your body when you stop betraying yourself to keep other people comfortable. The ritual of 1 dish. Let me give you a practical daily habit that sounds stupid but works. You are going to wash 1 dish every day. Not the whole sink, not the kitchen. 1 dish. Choose it deliberately. A coffee cup, a plate, a spoon. You will hold it under warm water. You will feel the temperature on your hands. You will watch the water run over the surface. You will scrub it until it is clean. And then you will put it in the drying rack and say out loud, I completed something. That is it. No hidden meaning, no metaphor. The goal is not a clean kitchen. The goal is to rewire your brain's reward system. Depression kills your dopamine response. You do not feel pleasure from finishing things because your brain stopped releasing the reward chemical. But the pathway is still there. It is just dormant. Small, repetitive, physically tangible tasks wake it up. Washing 1 dish gives you a beginning, a middle, and an end in 60 seconds. That is a complete loop. Your brain needs loops. Do this every single day for 2 weeks. Do not miss a day. And watch how the one dish becomes 2 dishes, becomes a sink, becomes a kitchen, becomes a life. Start with the one dish tonight. Which dish will you choose? The office chair. You are at work. It is 2:17 p.m. You have been staring at the same spreadsheet for 45 minutes. Your boss just asked you a question and you heard the words but could not translate them into meaning. Your coworkers are laughing by the water cooler and the sound feels like it is coming from another dimension. You want to crawl under your desk and disappear. Here is what you do. You stand up. You walk to the bathroom. You lock the door. You put both hands flat on the sink. You look at your face in the mirror and you breathe. 5 seconds in. Hold for 5 seconds out. You do this 10 times. This is not meditation woo-woo. This is biology. Deep breathing manually activates your parasympathetic nervous system. It forces your vagus nerve to send a signal to your brain that says, "We are not being chased by a tiger." You have been breathing shallow and fast all day, which tells your brain you are in danger. Your brain responds by flooding you with cortisol. Cortisol makes depression worse. You can break that cycle in 90 seconds with $5 worth of oxygen. After the breathing, you go back to your desk. You do not explain yourself. You do not apologize. You complete one task, just one, and then you allow yourself to do nothing for 5 minutes. This is how you survive the office without quitting or collapsing. Try this tomorrow at your lowest point of the day. And notice the feeling passed. It always passes. You just have to breathe through it. The science of the second arrow. The Buddha talked about 2 arrows. The first arrow is the pain of life, loss, failure, rejection, illness. That arrow is not your fault. Depression is often that first arrow, but the second arrow is the one you shoot yourself. Why am I still depressed? What is wrong with me? Everyone else can handle this. I am weak. That second arrow is worse than the first. Your suffering right now is not just depression. It is depression plus the shame of having depression. Here is the neuroscience. When you judge yourself for being depressed, your anterior cingulate cortex, the part of your brain that processes emotional pain, lights up the same way it does for physical pain. You are literally adding injury to injury. So stop the second arrow. Stop asking why you are not better yet. Stop comparing your timeline to anyone else's. Healing from depression is not linear. It is not fair. It is not Instagram-worthy. Some days you will take 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. That is not failure. That is the shape of recovery. Your only job is to stop shooting yourself with the second arrow. Can you catch yourself today every time you start the shame spiral and simply say, "This is hard enough without me being cruel to myself." Say this out loud. I release the second arrow. The pain is enough. I do not need to add suffering. The plate of food eating when you are depressed is a war crime. Food tastes like cardboard. Your stomach feels like a stone. Chewing requires more energy than you have, so you skip meals. And then your blood sugar drops. And then your brain, which runs on glucose, starts malfunctioning even more. And then you feel worse. And then you eat even less. This is a death spiral. Here is your new rule. You do not have to enjoy food. You do not have to cook gourmet meals. You do not have to eat vegetables. You just have to put something in your body every 3 to 4 hours. A handful of crackers, a banana, a glass of milk, a spoonful of peanut butter. Protein is better than carbs, but anything is better than nothing. Your brain needs fuel to heal. You would not try to drive a car with an empty gas tank. Stop expecting yourself to heal on empty. Set 3 alarms on your phone, 8 a.m., 12 p.m., 5 p.m. When the alarm goes off, you eat 1 bite of something, just 1 bite. If you can eat more, great. If not, 1 bite wins. Do this for 7 days. I promise you, the fog will lift by at least 5%. 5% is not nothing. 5% is the difference between drowning and treading water. The front door. You have not left your apartment in 4 days. The outside world feels hostile. The thought of seeing another human face makes your palms sweat. You are becoming agoraphobic, not because you are afraid of open spaces, but because you are afraid of being perceived. You are afraid someone will see the emptiness behind your eyes. Here is the truth. No one is looking at you as much as you think. People are too busy with their own suffering to catalog yours. But that knowledge does not help you walk out the door. So let me give you a different reason. Walking outside changes your brain chemistry in ways no pill can replicate. Sunlight on your skin triggers vitamin D production, which is directly linked to serotonin. 20 minutes of walking increases BDNF, brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which is like fertilizer for your neurons. The simple act of putting one foot in front of the other tells your brain that you are moving towards something, not just hiding. You do not have to talk to anyone. You do not have to go anywhere specific. You just have to step over the threshold. Here is your challenge: put on shoes. Open the front door. Stand on the other side for 60 seconds. If you want to go back inside after that, you can, but you have to do the 60 seconds. Tomorrow, 2 minutes. The day after, 5. You are not running a marathon. You are reminding your animal body that the world still exists and you are still part of it. The call you are avoiding, your phone is ringing. It is your mother or your best friend or your boss. You watch the screen light up. You let it go to voicemail. Then the guilt sets in. Now you cannot call back because too much time has passed. Now you have to explain. Now the shame doubles. This is the avoidance loop, and it will eat your relationships alive. Isolation is not a symptom of depression. It is a strategy that depression uses to survive. The illness wants you alone. Alone, it can whisper without competition. Alone, it can grow. Every time you avoid a call, you are giving the illness exactly what it wants. So here is the counter strategy. You do not have to have a long conversation. You do not have to explain your depression. You send one text: I am alive, I am struggling, I will call you when I can. That is it. You have broken the loop. You have told the truth without oversharing. You have protected the relationship without exhausting yourself. Then you put the phone down. You do not wait for a reply. You do not apologize more. You did the hard thing. And here is what you will discover. Most people just want to know you are breathing. They do not need your performance of wellness. They need your honesty. Who is the one person you have been avoiding? Send them that text right now, not later. Right now, the bedroom as a crime scene. Look around your room. Are there dishes, clothes on the floor, curtains drawn, 3 weeks of dust? This is not a moral failing. This is a mirror. Your environment is an external expression of your internal state. And here is the good news: you can change your internal state by changing your environment. It is not magic. It is a feedback loop. A cluttered space raises cortisol. Raised cortisol worsens depression. Worsened depression makes it harder to clean. You see the cycle, so you break it with one small act. Today you open the curtains, that is it. You do not have to clean, you just let light in. Tomorrow you take one dish to the kitchen. The next day you put 3 pieces of clothing in the hamper. Within 2 weeks your room will look different. And when your room looks different, you will feel 1% different. 1% is the foothold. Do not try to transform your whole life. Just change one visible thing. Which one thing will you change today? Go do it now. The future you is watching. Say this out loud. My environment is not my enemy. It is my patient. I will heal it slowly. The rejection that already happened, you are afraid to try because you cannot survive another rejection. You have already been rejected by a partner, a parent, a promotion, a dream. Those rejections are real. They hurt. They left scars. But here is what depression does not tell you. You are already living inside the worst-case scenario. The rejection you fear has already happened in your mind 1,000 times. You have already felt the shame, the abandonment, the failure. You have rehearsed it so many times that your body is producing stress hormones for events that have not occurred. That is exhausting. That is also optional. What if you stopped trying to avoid rejection and started pursuing action? What if you applied for the job knowing you might not get it? What if you asked for the date knowing they might say no? What if you spoke up in the meeting knowing someone might disagree? The pain of actual rejection lasts about 20 minutes. The pain of imagined rejection lasts for years. You are choosing the longer suffering. Today, do one thing you are afraid of, not a big thing. Send an email you have been avoiding. Raise your hand. Voice an opinion. And when the world does not end, remember that feeling. That feeling is freedom. 5-minute rule for everything. You cannot do the whole workout. So do 5 minutes. You cannot write the whole report, so write one paragraph. You cannot clean the whole house, so wipe one counter. The 5-minute rule is simple. Give yourself permission to stop after 5 minutes. That is the deal. You are not committing to finishing. You are only committing to starting. Here is what happens. 90% of the time, after 5 minutes, you will keep going. The hardest part of any task is the beginning. Depression amplifies that difficulty 100 times, but once you are in motion, the momentum carries you. And on the days when you do stop after 5 minutes, that is a win too. You did 5 minutes more than zero. Stop measuring yourself against the person you were before depression. Measure yourself against the person who stayed in bed. You are not that person anymore. You are the person who does 5 minutes. Choose one task right now that you have been avoiding. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Do the task. When the timer goes off, you can stop. But I bet you won't. The body you have betrayed you have been living in your head. That is where depression lives, in the endless loop of thoughts, memories, predictions, and lies. Meanwhile, your body has been sending you signals that you have ignored. Tight shoulders, a clenched jaw, shallow breath, a hollow ache in your chest. You have treated your body like a bus you ride while staring out the window. But your body is not a bus. Your body is the driver. Depression disconnects you from physical sensation. You stop feeling hungry, tired, warm, cold. You become a floating brain attached to a meat suit you resent. The way back is through sensation. Cold water on your face, the weight of a blanket, the stretch of a hamstring, the taste of a lemon. You need to come back into your body because your body knows things your brain has forgotten. Your brain says nothing matters. Your body says, I am cold, put on a sweater. That is a mattering, that is a small truth. Today, do one physical thing you can feel. Stand in the cold, hold an ice cube, stretch until it hurts a little, press your feet into the floor. Notice that you are here. You are in a body. That body is fighting for you even when your mind has surrendered. Thank your body by giving it one sensation. It can feel the funeral you are planning. You have thought about death. Not as a plan maybe, but as a relief, a quiet, a stopping of the noise. I am not going to shame you for that. Despair is not a character flaw. But I am going to ask you to postpone, just for today, just for this hour. The research on suicide prevention has one finding that is stronger than all others. Interrupting the impulse saves lives. The impulse to die is not constant. It comes in waves. The wave rises, peaks, and falls. Your job is to survive the peak. So when the thought comes, you do not argue with it. You do not debate it. You move your body. You walk outside. You call a hotline, 988 if you are in the US. You go to a public place. You hold an ice cube until it melts. You do anything that changes your physical state, because the wave cannot kill you if you ride it out. The wave always passes. I know you are tired. I know you do not want to ride another wave, but here is what you cannot see right now. On the other side of this depression, there is a version of you who is glad you stayed. That version is not hypothetical. That version is waiting. Do not kill them before they get to exist. What is one thing you can do in the next 5 minutes to ride this wave? Say this out loud. This feeling is a visitor, not my identity. It will leave. I will still be here. The relationships that drain you there are people in your life who make your depression worse. They are not bad people. They are just not safe for you right now. The friend who says, just be positive. The parent who says, other people have it worse. The partner who takes your withdrawal personally. These people are not your enemies, but they are also not your medicine. You have permission to create distance. You do not have to announce it. You do not have to explain. You just stop answering every call. You leave the group chat on mute. You say, I am not available right now. This is not rudeness. This is self-defense. Depression is already a full-time war. You cannot fight on two fronts. Protect your energy like it is the last food in a famine. And here is the harder truth. Some relationships will not survive your healing. That is okay. The people who are meant to stay will adapt. The people who only wanted your performance will leave. Let them leave. You are not losing anything you ever really had. Who is one person you need to create space from today? What is one boundary you will set, even silently? The job you hate. You go to work every day and pretend. You smile. You nod. You complete tasks that feel meaningless. Then you come home and collapse. Your job is not the cause of your depression, but it is an amplifier. The constant performance of wellness is toxic, so you have two choices. Change the job or change your relationship to the job. If you cannot leave right now, bills, insurance, fear, then you need a survival strategy. Identify the 3 most draining parts of your day: the commute, the meetings, the small talk. Then build a buffer around each one. Listen to a podcast that makes you feel seen during the commute. Take notes during meetings to stay present. Give yourself a 5-minute bathroom break after every social interaction. You are not thriving, you are surviving. And survival is a legitimate goal, but you also need an exit plan, even a vague one, even a dream. In 1 year, I will update my resume. In 6 months, I will take 1 online class. The presence of a future plan, even an unrealistic one, reduces hopelessness. What is one tiny step toward a different job that you can take this week without overwhelming yourself? The inner critic's real name, that voice that tells you you're not good enough. Give it a name. Call it Frank. Call it Gertrude. Call it the gremlin. Numbing it separates you from it. When Frank says you're worthless, you say, there goes Frank again. He's loud today. This is not denial. This is depersonalization. The voice loses power when it is not mistaken for your own consciousness. Frank is a habit. Frank is a neurological loop. Frank is not your soul. Start noticing every time Frank speaks. Keep a log if you have to. 9:14 a.m. Frank said I was stupid. 2:30 p.m. Frank said no one likes me. You will see patterns. Frank is most active when you are tired, hungry, or lonely. So you starve Frank by addressing those states. You eat, you sleep, you call someone. Do not argue with Frank. Do not try to convince Frank he is wrong. Frank is not interested in evidence. Frank is a broken record. You do not debate a broken record. You unplug it. What will you name your inner critic? And what will you do today to unplug it? The walk that saves you there is a walk you need to take. It is not a scenic walk. It is not a fitness walk. It is a walk you take when you have nothing left. You put on shoes, any shoes. You walk out the door. You turn left or right. It does not matter. And you walk at the pace of a person who is not in a hurry to get anywhere. This walk has no destination. It has no time limit. It has no goal except to prove that you can still move through space. While you walk, you do not listen to music or podcasts. You listen to the sound of your feet, the crunch of gravel, the hum of a distant road, the wind in a tree. You are not trying to feel better. You are trying to feel something, anything, and you will. Because the world is full of tiny sensations that your depressed brain has been filtering out. A dog barking, a child laughing, a cloud that looks like a whale. These are not cures. They are breadcrumbs. Follow the breadcrumbs. They lead back to the world of the living. Take this walk today, not tomorrow, today, and when you get back, write down one thing you noticed. Just one, say this out loud. I am still alive. The world is still here. We are both still here. The permission to be a mess. You have been trying to hold yourself together. You have been pretending to be fine. You have been hiding the cracks. Stop. Just stop. You are allowed to be a mess. You are allowed to cry in the grocery store parking lot. You are allowed to cancel plans. You are allowed to exist in whatever shape you exist in today. The pressure to be strong is another form of violence against yourself. Strength is not the absence of breaking. Strength is breaking and still waking up the next day. So let the mask fall. Let someone see you with red eyes and unwashed hair. Let the house be dirty. Let the laundry pile up. You are fighting an enemy that cannot be seen, cannot be measured, cannot be explained to people who have never felt it. That fight is heroic even when you lose, especially when you lose, because losing means you tried. Trying means you are still in the arena, and the arena is where healing happens. Give yourself permission today to be exactly as broken as you are, and then give yourself permission to keep going anyway. Those two things can coexist. They must coexist. What is one way you will stop pretending today? The future you cannot see right now. You cannot imagine feeling better. That is not a failure of your imagination. That is a symptom. Depression literally shrinks your ability to envision a positive future. The same brain circuits that project forward are the ones that are damaged. So stop trying to imagine the future. Focus on the next hour, the next 10 minutes, the next breath. You do not need to believe in a happy ending. You just need to believe in the next step, and the step after that, and the step after that. Eventually, without noticing, you will have walked a mile. And at the end of that mile, you will look back and realize that you did not believe you could make it, but you made it anyway. That is not hope. That is grit. And grit does not require optimism. Grit only requires stubbornness. Be stubborn. Be the most stubborn person you know. Refuse to let the depression win, not because you believe in a better tomorrow, but because you refuse to be defeated by a chemical imbalance. That refusal is enough. That refusal is everything. What is the next breath you will take? Take it now, then another, then another. You are still here. That is not nothing. That is a miracle you cannot see yet, but you will keep walking.